Hey, let's catch up with some Spurs news you may have missed and then put in the draft spotlight, Stephon Castle.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you all back. Hope you had a great 3-day break. We're back at it here at Locked On Spurs. Your first listen every single day, free and available wherever you get podcasts, Google Play, Stitchers, iTunes. The list goes on and on. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. What are we talking about today? We're going to get over some Spurs news and notes that you may have missed. There's plenty of them. And then bringing our guest, Jack Thompson, formerly of San Antonio Sports Star. We're going to be discussing the draft that's pretty much coming up and putting the spotlight draft prospect, Stephon Castle. Yeah, UConn's Stephon Castle. How does he fit? Could the Spurs be eyeing him as the draft approaches? So much more. And then talk about you guys, Locked On Spurs fan comments. Well, let's catch you up with some Spurs news you may have missed. And according to Bleacher Report, the Spurs are not interested in Lakers' D'Angelo Russell. According to Bleacher Report, quote, the Spurs intel suggests San Antonio Spurs aren't interested. Russell has an $18.7 million player option for next season, but reports claim that he's seeking a multi-year deal. Now, Spurs, they do need shooting. They do need outside shooting to free up space for Wemby, but just too streaky. Good news. I don't think it'll fit in San Antonio. Ball dominant, needs the ball. They already got one major ball dominant player, Wemby. Last thing the Spurs need is another one as well. So I think the Spurs can look elsewhere for floor spacing, maybe in the draft. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Congratulations to the Austin Spurs. They have won 2 awards with the G League season over. They won the NBA G League Marketing Award for the 23-24 season, as well as the NBA G League Retailer Award. So congratulations to them. Let me tell you, the G League, Austin Spurs, they put on a good product. If you've never been to one of their promotional games, like at the Cedar Park Arena, HEB Arena, I should say, it's fun. One time they had car freshener day. Not kidding. That was a car freshener day where you showed up to the game, you get yourself a car freshener. I wish the Spurs would do something quirky like that. But yeah, congratulations to the Austin Spurs. Well deserved. Hey, the San Antonio Spurs continue to remember the Uvalde, Texas community. They still are reaching out to the community, still trying to have them heal after the mass shooting they had recently, or a couple of years ago, I should say. And they're asking your commitment to support them and the Uvalde County community with contributing at least $5.24 to Sport for Healing Fund. You can find more information about that at kens5.com/Spurs. Leave it to the Spurs to still be helping the Uvalde, Texas recover, despite it being a few years from now. They're still healing. You look at the news, still dealing with the after the ripple effects, I should say, of that school shooting. Hey, are you limbered up? Are you flexible? Can you jump really high? Can you do tumbles? Can you do all that stuff? Can you get the Spurs crowd hyped? Well, Hype Squad has auditions. If you're interested in joining the Spurs Hype Squad, auditions are getting close. You want to go to spurs.com right now. They're looking for new members. So if you or you know somebody who has what it takes to get the crowd hyped during home games, go to events, what else? Basically get the crowd going to be interactive with fans. Here is your chance. My best years are behind me. I'd break my back if I even attempted to do a cartwheel at this point of my age. But hey, if you're interested, it's available right now. Keldon Johnson had a blast in Laredo, Texas recently. He wrapped up a basketball camp in Laredo, Texas, and there's video of the event, signing autographs, meet and greets, putting the kids through drills. It was just a great day out in Laredo, Texas. If you want to see more of the video, it's up right now at kens5.com/Spurs. And this is a good way to end the news segment here, right? Mamu, yes, Sandro. I didn't even attempt to pronounce his last name. Big Mamu. I think it was last year or a couple years ago, he bought his dad a brand new car in the offseason. He did it again, this time to another major, male figure in his life, his brother, Mamu. He bought his brother a brand new car. Yeah, he surprised his brother with the new wheels, and let me tell you, it was great to see it. He put the video up on his social media. You see him, he's talking to people how to devise a plan to surprise his brother. They've been doing an elaborate plan. Somebody goes to Mamu's brother's door, knocks on the door, acts like they need help. They come out, and then there's the car. Mamu embraces his brother, gives him the keys. What a nice brother. Woo, Mamu, good job. Yeah, giving back to the family. Family's important. Spurs all about family. Mamu's reflecting that in his generosity to those that were there for him from beginning until now. If you want to see that video and more, you want to go to kensfi.com/Spurs right now. And you know what? One more news bite. This is interesting. Maybe I think we're going to need a discussion about this on Locked On Spurs down the road here. But Popovich, he recently was caught on camera with the, I guess, Mavs fan, and they're celebrating the Mavs playoff run right now. Popovich says, hey, go Mavs, Mark Cuban, go kick some bleep. Spurs fans, interesting enough, were okay with that. They were fine with not all of them, but a good majority of them were okay with Popovich cheering on Dallas. Those fans were saying, hey, it's Dallas. The rivalry with Dallas isn't too heated. Sure, there was their moments, but if there's a Texas team that all Spurs fans are saying they would not cheer for or would not be okay with Popovich cheering for, it would be the Houston Rockets. But he's cheering for the Dallas Mavericks. That leaves the question, are you cheering for the Dallas Mavericks? And it looks like they're on the verge of going back to the NBA Finals. So, hey, who knows? Be interesting. Look, Popovich has always preached about good sportsmanship on the court, off the court. Even the Spurs themselves, they cheered on Dirk Nowitzki when he retired, gave him a great presentation, a farewell gift. Dirk played against the Spurs in his final regular season game. That's just amazing. So it's not out of the realm of, just not too surprising to see the Spurs Popovich cheer on for the Dallas Mavericks. The Spurs organization did that when Dirk retired, so not too surprising. But there were some fans who were like, nah, Pop, bring it back. Don't do that. But there you have it, some quick Spurs news and notes. Hey, when we get back, we're going to bring our guest, Jack Thompson, formerly of San Antonio Sports Star. We're going to be discussing Stephon Castle. Should the Spurs select him? Will he be a good fit? And so much more. That is next right here on Locked On Spurs. Hey, but first I want to talk to you about FanDuel. It's a winner-take-all time right now in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel's giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers, listen up. You can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. You heard that right, $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Yeah, you could bet on spreads, money line, player props, so much more. I got the app. You should use it. Let me tell you, it's very easy to use. It's very intuitive. It's not complicated. Put your picks in and you're good to go. Real simple. To do that and more, and download the app, which you should be doing right now, whether it be your smart device or at home or your computer, make an account, whatever you got to do, you want to go to FanDuel right now. And that's FanDuel.com/lockedon right now. Why? You want to make every playoff shot count. Let me remind you guys, you want to go to FanDuel.com/lockedon right now. Go get yourself an account. It is America's #1 sportsbook. And when I talked about Mudslingers drive-through coffee, you want to go there right now. San Antonio, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive, open every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. They got it all. You need lattes, check. Brews, check. Alternative drinks, check. Mini donuts, check. They got it all. Great staff, friendly smiles there. Good menu. What else they got? Well, they're a proud local sponsor of Locked On Spurs and a proud community member of San Antonio, serving San Antonio the best drinks in this city. Hey, heads up, a couple of things. They're celebrating their birthday this week. Yes, they're going to have a lot of prizes, a lot of giveaway. I've heard free tumblers, drinks and whatnot. Go visit them right now on social media to see the breakdown of how they're celebrating their birthday at Mudslinger SATX on all social media platforms. Also, heads up, they have the Lightning Bolt series that includes the Alien, which is in honor of Victor Wembanyama. It's an energy line to get you going through the day. But just a heads up, they're going to be using Lotus Energy now. That's 7 power plant extracts that have similar effects to caffeine, but are just better for you. That allows the flexibility to create new drinks, gives you flexibility to create new drinks. But just a heads up, that will be default. But if you want Red Bull, they'll still have that on hand. But again, get yourself a Lightning Bolt drink that'll power you through the rest of your day. Again, it's their birthday, so happy birthday, Mudslingers. Go there right now to Mudslingers ASAP. 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive, open every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to there right now because life is too short for bland coffee.
The Jedi uses the Force. To subscribe to Locked On Spurs, pass on what you have learned.
And look who is back, everybody. He is Jack Thompson, formerly of San Antonio Sports Star, showing his Spurs pride. And look at that, Jack. Spurs basketball.
Always.
Is it like one of those kids camps one, or the ones you get at Academy, something like that?
I don't know.
Goodwill.
I got it for Christmas, I think, or something.
We go to him whenever we have questions, thoughts. We need analysis about the upcoming NBA draft. And we got a good one. According to reports, The Athletic, the Spurs are eyeing a guard. Who could that be? Well, we're going to discuss that in just a few seconds. But, Jack, you been all right, though?
Oh, yeah. Been good, man. Been good. Just itching for the draft to happen already.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. I think the combine's over, right? That's
Combine is over, yeah.
Yeah, then I think now it's going to be those individual team
yeah, it's a lot of
setup. Yeah.
Personal workouts for teams.
And you're going to get your invite, too, by the Spurs, right? They're going to call you to
Hopefully.
work out.
They should. Hey, I'll help out. They should.
Well, they need a point guard, so maybe you can fill that role for them. All right, so, yeah, like you said, we go to Jack for all things draft analysis, player, college prospects, all the stuff. And, again, The Athletic says that the Spurs are eyeing a point guard. Who could that be? Stephon Castle. Yes, according to The Athletic, quote, the Spurs are said to be big fans of UConn's Castle. League sources said he is moving up their draft board. San Antonio has the top 10 selections. Castle could be either go at number 4 or number 8. So there you have it. That's the reports. We're going to put Castle in the spotlight. When I texted you the rundown, your response was, yes, even better. All right, why should the Spurs target Castle if he's on the board at number 4 or number 8?
Well, first off, I mean, he's the best guard, I believe, in the class for sure. He's 6'6", combo
even over
guard.
Over Topic too.
It would have been close, I think. I think Topic, definitely more refined offensively, but Stephon Castle, he's really, really good. McDonald's All-American, top 10 player in high school, national champion at UConn. I mean, he's 6'6", combo guard. Specialty is defense. He loves to get after it on defense, and that Pop loves that for sure. So, but offensively, he's got a array of moves. He's really good in the mid-range, very athletic, can get to the rim. He does need some work on his jump shot, but it's not like it's a broken jump shot. He needs some refining. But I think, he's outside of probably Topic, but I would take him over Topic now. Just the 2 knee injuries is enough for me to steer clear from the draft.
Yeah.
So I would say he's the top-rated guard on my board for the Spurs to snag at 4 or 8, and I think it would be a fantastic pick. He could definitely, I think, develop into a franchise point guard down the road.
Well, you said franchise point guard. That's interesting. You look at some of the scouting reports, what jumps out for me is defense tenacity. That seems to be the common thread. A lot of defensive tenacity popping. The coaching staff, they love that. He would fit right in. Interesting, though, another scout points out that he's able to crash the offensive boards. So interesting, for a guy like that in his position to create second chances through that. Not steals, not deflections, but a point guard getting offensive rebounds. That's pretty interesting. Big question here. Spurs are on the clock. They're at number 4. Castle's on the board. Is he worthy of a number 4 pick, or you think they could wait till number 8?
It's tough. For me, it depends on who's left on the board. I mean, he's probably, I would say, 3 or 4 on my big board for the Spurs. Ricochet and Matas are flip-flopping at 1 and 2, depending on the day and how I'm feeling that day. But if both of them are gone, then you snag Castle at 4. You don't wait for 8.
And that wouldn't be considered too high for him, right? That, your reaction is okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
No, I don't think that really in this draft, I don't think anything for these lottery guys is too high or too low. I mean, I think it's who you fall in love with as a team, who you've done your research on, who you think fits your team the best. And I think anyone in the top 10 could go anywhere in the top 10. It's really just dependent upon who's drafting and what the team needs are. So no, I don't think 4 would be too high for him.
All right, here are the official measurements for Castle from the NBA Combine. 6'5.5" without shoes, 210 pounds, 6'9" wingspan. What do you think about that, Jack?
I mean, right out the gate, you always worry about how rookies are going to be able to translate to the NBA. What are they going to bring to your team immediately to get themselves on the court? For him, it's going to be defense. I mean, he's a straight dog on defense. He is going to get after it, and he's going to want to guard the best guard, and he's going to do a damn good job of it. I mean, 6'9" wingspan is lethal for a point guard to have on the defensive end. He's really strong, very athletic, very mobile. So right out the gate, he's going to be a defensive specialist, and that's going to get him on the court.
Oh, last season with UConn, he averaged 11.1 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 2.9 assists. Again, during that one season with UConn. 47% shooting from the field. This is where it gets a little 26% from the 3-line. Jack, your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, that's not a great number, but he was on an extremely loaded team. He was not asked to shoot a bunch of threes on a team that was filled with 3-point shooters. So that's probably not where he put most of his work in to, get to where he is today. But his jump shot is far from broken. I think, with reps and refining, he'll be just fine in the shooting department. As far as the other stats go, I mean, double-digit points, 4 rebounds, almost 3 assists on a national championship team that, it's got another player in the lottery. They had one of the best point guards already in the nation on their team in Tristan Newton. I think, those are great numbers for a freshman on a national championship team. He was thrust into the spotlight, and he never wilted once. He is a winner, and I think, his game is definitely going to translate to the NBA.
I'm looking at some of the scouting reports right now, and although we designate him a guard, seems to me that he could be very switchable in the NBA. And I think that's, obviously the league, that's what it is, switchable players. Can you play the 2? Can you play the 3? Can you play the 1? Does he fit that modern NBA style, Jack?
Oh, yeah. He definitely, I mean, like you said, 6'5" with a 6'9" wingspan. That's, the ability to guard 1 through 3 with ease and maybe step out to 1 through 4, depending on who's the 4. He can switch all those positions. So, and he, like we said, he takes extreme pride on the defensive end. He's going to want to be the guy that guards the best player on the other team. So whether that's, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, I don't think it matters for him, and he's down for the challenge.
So he's going to pull a Anthony Edwards and just call out every point guard in this matchups, right? He's going to be like, I want Kyrie.
Hopefully not.
Anthony Edwards.
Hopefully not.
I'm looking again. We have the scouts all over the place. What the Spurs might do at 4-8. You have some that even still say if Topic is there, they'll still take him, even if Cass is there. But here's an interesting thing though. A lot of the scouts also project when they're talking about the 4 and 8 pick for the Spurs. Ron Holland. They said if Ron Holland's there, they may take him at 4 or 8. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, 4 for me is probably a little high for Ron Holland. I'd rather get, Matas, Richachet, Stephon Castle. But, at 8, I love Ron Holland there. He's an athletic freak, 6'8", probably right with with Castle as the, taking that spot for best defender in the class. He's a super versatile player, can grab boards and go, but he's another guy that, he needs work on his jump shot. He's not right all the way there with the NBA jump shot, but he's got a lot of potential. He's a Dallas kid, so that's cool. Played 3 years at Duncanville before, going G League Ignite. Won several state championships. He averaged like 20 points a game for G League Ignite. He's lethal getting downhill towards the rim as he's super athletic and very creative around the rim. So yeah, he's got the makings to be a very good NBA player as well. I don't know if I've fallen in love with him enough to take him at 4, but at 8, that's a bargain for him. He's a great player, and I think if we can snag him at 8, it would be fantastic.
Now, circling back to Castle, though, I'm assuming, based on what I'm hearing you and some of the scouts' reports, that he could fit in well with Wemby. It's all about Wemby right now, making a team that fits around him. He would fit, we're correct?
Yeah, I definitely think he would fit. He's not a ball-dominant guard, as we've seen from his time at UConn. He just played his role to the best of his ability and thrived in it and, helped them to win a national championship. And I think when it comes to the NBA, he's going to be the same type of player. I think he's going to know coming in, especially if it's the Spurs, like, while I was the number 4 pick, this guy to my right, he's generational talent, and I'm not going to supersede what he does on the team. So, yeah, I think he's going to just thrive in his role and become a star in his role. And if that star is, setting up Wemby and helping him get, 10 to 12 easy buckets a night off of, force-fed passes and lobs and pick and roll, then, yeah, I think he'll take that challenge and he'll thrive in it to the best of his ability. So I think, yeah, he'd fit very well in the Spurs.
Yeah, I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see him as maybe a starting point guard to start the season. Just say Spurs get him. He's in uniform next year. It's day one tip off. I don't see that happen. I think they'll probably still stick with Trey Jones for a bit. But I think eventually, maybe he could take the Tony Parker path, because that was how Tony Parker came aboard. Tony Parker was a bench player for half a season-ish, and then he got the starting nod. I think that was over Antonio Daniels. So this could be a situation here, because everybody says Trey Jones fits better coming off the bench, backing up a point guard. And Trey Jones showed last year that he can take a back seat. He did it for Sohan. He did it for Malachi, and then eventually he just got reinserted. So, I think they'll probably, if he's available, I can definitely see them selected him. Heck, you had scouts also saying that Castle should go number 1. I mean, that's how all over the map this draft is. You think that's way too high for him, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ricochet and Sarr are probably pretty firmly cemented in that 1 and 2 position, depending on who you want on your team. But, like I said before, whoever you've evaluated the most and you've fallen in love with the most in this draft, there's, it's completely wide open. It's anyone can go number 1.
Man, you were just like this when I texted you. I can feel you going like this to the text. When I said, hey, Sports are going after Castle, you're like, ooh, even better.
Yeah,
so,
I would.
Jack will be a very happy guy come draft night.
Oh, yeah. I think Castle, he would be a fantastic pick. He brings that dog mentality, something that, the Spurs definitely need on the defensive end. And I think that's, the biggest key to us moving forward for the Spurs is getting that point guard and solidifying the defensive end, because outside of Wemby, no one really showed last year that they were built for the defensive end. So I think we need to get some guys in there, or Jeremy or Devin have to reassert themselves as the two-way players that, they were drafted to be and who we thought they were going to be. And I think with Castle in there, he'll bring a different sort of mentality. He's a quiet guy. He's all about the work, it seems. And I think that's what we need on the Spurs, is someone, keeps their head low to the ground and just grinding every day to get better. I think Castle can be that guy. And I really do think he can be a franchise point guard of the future, whether that's for the Spurs or for somebody else. I think he's going to be a very good NBA player.
See, that's why we invite Jack to Locked On Spurs around this time a lot more, because look at this knowledge that he has. He brings to you guys, the Locked On Spurs viewers and listeners. All right, when we get back, we're going to be discussing your comments. You guys are leaving a lot of comments about the upcoming draft. So perfect time. Jack's here. Let's take advantage of his time. So we're going to be discussing the questions you got, comments you got. Yes, Ricochet's on there. You got a sleeper pick, Jack? Yeah, somebody threw out a sleeper pick.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, we'll get your thoughts in just a few seconds.
Oh, hey, this is Morty Smith and Cheese. You are listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia. Cheese.
I want to talk about eBay Motors, passion, drive, and patience, the winning formula for winning championships. It also keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. You need superchargers? They got it. Roof racks? Check. LED headlights? Sure. Exhaust kits? Yep, that too. They got so much more. So whether you're to speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts to choose from for your number one ride or die, always find exactly what you need, what you're looking for, and with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed fit your right every time or your money back. Look, that Guaranteed Fit is going to help you tremendously because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, you're not burning cash. With all the parts you need at the prices that you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. That's ebaymotors.com. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. And we're back with Jack Thompson, formerly with San Antonio Sports. Start following him on X at Jack_Thompson33. Make sure you do that right now. By the way, Jack, you got any anime recommendations for me? I'm running out.
Have you watched any of Solo Leveling yet?
I started watching it. Yeah. That first episode, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. What are you watching?
Now I'm jumping back into Demon Slayer now that the new season is out. So just looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm so behind. I started Solo Leveling and I ain't gonna stop it. You know what? It's not anime, but adult. Everybody's adults, so don't show your kids this one. That's on Amazon Prime. Has Been Hotel. You heard about it?
Yeah, haven't heard about it.
Yeah, it's not an anime, but it's a very funny adult animated series, and I think you'll like it, Jack. Seriously, when I say it's not for kids, it's not for kids. It's not for kids. Don't let the way they drew the characters throw you off here. But if you check it out, okay. We're talking all things NBA draft lottery, draft prospect with Jack Thompson. Again, follow him on X at Jack_Thompson33. So you guys are leaving a lot of comments on the YouTube page over at Locked On Spurs about the upcoming draft and some players. So Jack's here. We're going to pick his brain about it and get his reaction. Maybe my reaction. Jack's way better at this department than I am. I'll tell you that much. But let's go and dive into it. Okay. First one's come from Kenny 10. Jack, he says, when you get the first draft pick, that means your team probably sucks. Fine. Which means as the next draft, you pick for talent and not fit. So you take the best player and then address weak areas, in free agencies. What do you think about that? He's referred to the Spurs obviously not winning the draft lottery, but getting 4 or 8. So what do you think about the talent and fit kind of argument?
He's not wrong about that. You're picking at the top. You're one of the worst teams in the league, and you got to go get some better talent. So, yeah, you draft the most talented guy available generally. With the Spurs, I mean, we already hit that lotto ticket last year. We are not going to get anyone remotely more talented than Wemby. So, while, yes, we still need, to get some more talented guys on the team, it's more about fitting the pieces around Wemby to maximize his level and also to make his life easier. I mean, getting a point guard is number one on my list so that Wemby's not working so hard for every bucket he gets. We need someone on the team that can force feed this man on a silver platter 8 to 15 points a game off of just lobs, pick and roll, pick and pop, stuff where Wemby's not creating everything on his own for his buckets. So while, yes, he's right with his generalized statement that, yeah, you take best player available at the top of the draft. For us, it's, we need a guy that's, while he needs to be very good, he also needs to be down with coming in and knowing, like, he's never going to be the top dog. He's always going to have to defer to Wemby. And there's not a lot of players built like that in the NBA. So it's got to take a lot of research on the Spurs part to find the correct piece to put in there.
Yeah, and Brian Wright, the whole staff there, they've several times repeated it over and over again. They're going to take a very delicate approach to how building around Wemby. They're not going to throw in players that don't fit with him, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, don't be surprised if this rebuild continues next season. One more season after the next season, I don't know about that, Jack. Then I'm like, hey, guys, you're pushing it. You're pushing it, Spurs. Okay, the next comment comes from Sarah McCoy, 1941. They say, Zachary Richarche, if he's available at 4. Okay, fine. Understood. If he falls to 4, the Spurs are there. Grab him. Got it. He goes, if not, you're going to love this. Stephon Castle or on Holland. Matas Buzelis, Cody Williams, and this is the sleeper pick. And I get corrected about how he pronounces his name. I can't figure it out. But Tijane Saloon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, at number 8. Best players available in the second round. So, obviously, thank you, Sarah McCoy, for that comment. Zachary Richarche, we both agree. If he's at 4, yeah, you grab him.
You snag him.
You snag him and you move on. But we've talked about Castle, so check. But then we talked about a little bit about Holland, so check. But what about at 8, Buzelis, Cody Williams, or Tijane?
Well, I mean, Matas, he's taken number 1 from Richarche in recent weeks, and then that video of Richarche going off for 30, he just looked like a completely different player. But Matas is, he's a prototypical forward for the NBA right now. 6'10", hyper athletic, very strong basketball IQ, shoots the ball at a great rate. He averaged 2 blocks a game in the G League last year, so he likes to get after it on the defensive end. He's right there with Richarche for the number 1 spot on my big board. If we got him, Richarche, and Matas, that's as good a draft as you could possibly have in any year, regardless of, the talent. Those are 2 guys that they have what it takes to be all-star caliber players in the NBA. Cody Williams, I like a lot too. If Matas isn't there at 8, I would snag Cody Williams in a heartbeat. It's Jalen Williams' younger brother, player on the Thunder. He's got the pedigree. He's a 6'8" forward with a 7'3" wingspan. So he's got the defensive prowess. He's got a very smooth, fluid feel to his game. He shoots the ball well. He's another guy that is very high on my big board for the Spurs to get. Our last guy,
Tijane, I think that's what I'm not gonna try to I'm not gonna try to pronounce the last name, but it's Tijane. I know that.
I've seen some tape of this guy. He's playing in a lower level, Euro League. He's good. He's got a lot of potential. I wish he would have, made it to the combine so we could have seen him play against some of his peers in this draft. But obviously, he's still playing over there. He's kind of a question mark. I don't really know. It's a shot in the dark with this guy. He's a big forward, got a lot of skill to his game, super athletic, definitely looks the part. So it doesn't sound like it would be a terrible pick, but I haven't done a lot of research on this guy, to be honest. So while I've seen the tape of him, and, you can make a highlight tape of any player and make them look phenomenal, I need to see some full game tape and see what, his body language and stuff looks like when things aren't going his way and what his true position is on the court. So he's probably, of those 3, just because he's the biggest question mark, would be last. But who knows? He could be a very good player. I'm not fully confident in him right now.
Yeah, I think even at 8 might be a little bit too high. He could have been just lightning in the bottle during the combine. Had a couple moments like, oh my God, who's this kid? And everybody going salivating over him. But yeah, well, the Spurs are in a good positions, I should say, with 4 and 8 and a couple of second rounders. So they could be making a lot of noise come draft night. He is Jack Thompson. Make sure to follow my next at Jack_Thompson33. And if you don't have draft questions, draft lottery stuff like that, ask him about anime. He'll hook you up. He'll hook you up. By the way, don't tell me, but how's the new season of Demon Slayer going?
Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, and by the way, again, it doesn't compare to Demon Slayer whatsoever. But if you have a chance, check out Has Been Hotel. Don't let the way they draw the characters fool you. It's not Care Bears and sunny stuff.
Hilarious.
It's very you'd be like, what did they say? What are they doing? What did I just watch? So
I love get ready for that.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, whoa, yeah. You have little nieces and nephews and be like, don't come in, don't watch this. This is not for y'all. Jack, as always, we thank you for stopping by here. We're gonna be picking your brain more often than not as the draft gets closer and closer. Everybody, we thank you all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen every single day, free and available wherever you get podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow, more Spurs talk as the offseason continues. And check out Locked On Sports today, 24/7 streaming sports channel only on YouTube. Go check that out right now. And for Jack Thompson, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.